What's up, y'all? Welcome to HOTC with your boy Jew and Jay and Jew. We back 2025 and we here live, kicking it off with my
Word,
man.
nah, dope introduction, brethren. HOTC.
HOTC, man. Hearts of the community. You feel
I
how
had to
we
do
do,
it
man.
slow. I couldn't do it
Yeah.
fast. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a minute, but we here. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm currently in Houston right now where it's snowing. I'll edit a little, join in here for y'all to see.
I
I'm
put
super
mine on.
excited.
It's beautiful where I'm at, yo, and I'm in Washington. It's beautiful, man. Let's put that
Is
out
it
there.
snowing?
Not at all.
Man, I'm excited like a little kid. Like I've been cheesing since, and I thought it was the drone because I got some
Mhm.
drone shots, but it was like, no, I used to
Love
love the
the
winter time.
snow. I be telling
Yeah,
your sister that OG, man. I be telling her that, bro. I be like, man, I know you hate it, but like I love the snow, folks. I miss this shit. I don't want to live here, you know what I'm saying? But
right.
would you ever go snowboarding or skiing?
Definitely,
You want
definitely.
to, maybe that should be our trip because I've always wanted to do that. I always wanted
I'm
to
with.
try that.
I've Some of you don't know about me. I've done it before. Levels and
Your
scales.
other friends or brothers?
No, no. This will make you happier. It was with my school. No, you don't like that either.
You
I
don't
thought
even
that I
like
would have.
school. You don't even like
I
school.
would have. I thought I would have redeemed myself.
Nah,
I'm partial. I'm partial to school. It's not that I don't like it.
Oh, you know what? You transition to liking school because of the state you're in now, like the position you're in. Let's talk about transitions. Just
I like that. I like how you did that.
I got my big
I
brother
like
in
how you
me.
did it. I want to talk about the transitions. That's what we talking about. Perfect. But no, even before that, I actually like school, and I don't know the part that I stopped liking it. But what I do think is the school that I went to. Shouts out Believers in Christ. That school,
That's
that
one.
count the
That's
school.
one. That's why
Man,
you
I
lucky I
swear.
ain't count five of them things, but that's the whole
No, I
school.
didn't. I didn't give no shout outs to anybody else. But you did cuss 2 3 minutes ago. I ain't even say nothing. Yeah, you was in your zone when you was in your. You ain't even know you was doing it, doing all these. Yeah. But anyway, I believe I like that school, and I love the school. In hindsight, in the moment, don't nobody like school. It's annoying. You're being micromanaged every day. That's the reason why we don't like it. But I think it wasn't until I got to college where I really didn't like it because I was really just told to do things one way. That wasn't necessarily the case at Believers in Christ. So, when real life hits you, and I understand that with kids in high school, like I understood that when I did Marquette. Some of them kids was dealing with real life scenarios, and thankfully, I was talking about real life stuff. But being somewhere where you can't relate to it and you tired because you just worked last night to survive, you ain't paying
Mhm.
like it's real life out here. I'm not paying attention to no school.
Trigonometry, math, like, bro, come on, bro.
Yeah,
Like, bro, I ain't about to use this ever again.
right. But that's the game that you got to play. But
That's the game that you got to play.
before we dig to transitions, what are some first? Can we define transition? Do I need to look it up? Do you know like the technical?
Nah, you know me, I'm a rebel. I like to give my own definitions whenever somebody asks me. So the way I define transition is anything that causes a shift to your routine. So it could be something small, it can be something big. So for an example, somebody could not be, I'm just go with reading the Bible, and then they go to reading the Bible. That's a transition. You know what I'm saying? Going from reading the Bible to not reading the Bible. Or let's use you for an example, working out, going from doing straight cardio to lifting more often. You know what I'm saying? That's a transition. So I view transitions in that type of frame, if that makes sense.
Can you say that again? Just I want to compare it and
Like from the beginning,
just your simple answer.
I call a transition to me is any change from your normal routine.
Got you. So I mean, it's pretty close to
Oh yeah, what
the
is the actual definition?
technical, the
Yeah,
process
yeah.
or a period, the process or a period of changing from one state or condition to another. Which, like you said, is pretty. But I'll tell you this: the way that I always looked at transition is, I don't know, for some reason, every time I hear the word, it pops up in my mind the visual of a edit. a media edit, but not. But look, here's the crazy part. It's not the actual part where you got one part and then you got the other part. It's the middle part where you see the fade. You know what I mean? Like you see both of them at once.
Ah, it's
That's
almost
how I always see it.
the transition is both parts coming together for you in that brief moment.
Yeah, that's
That's
the every
crazy.
and I always see it anytime the word like now, and it's brown. It's weird. Like it's weird. Every time I say the word or somebody says it, I see that in my mind. Like it's a visual in my mind. It's not a thought. It's this brown picture that goes off in my head that
You
I don't it's white and cloudy in the background, but there's two. Go ahead.
let me, because this is, I'm curious now. This is actually going to lead into what we're talking about anyway. If you always saw those two as overcrossing or overlapping, how did you deal with transitions before?
How did I deal with them before? That's a good question.
Because you
I
was
you know
good.
what? Go ahead.
The reason I bring that up is so y'all know my brother, y'all know him like I know because that's my name. You feel what I'm saying? But like I know you're always good with your back against the wall. And so for
Mm-hmm.
you, that would be a transitional time that's happening, but it would be because you would be putting more pressure on yourself to keep up with your normal discipline when you didn't have that transition happening. So
Mm.
from the outside looking in, the way you handled it was just by telling yourself, oh, I do this anyway because my back is against the wall and I know how to survive best at this moment. So that was the um would you call that? I think that would be the resilience. I definitely would think that would be
Yeah.
the resilience. Would it also like a disconnection from yourself too? To actually see what's the transition happening? Or how did, yeah, I guess I just kind of painted the picture. How did you see it?
I don't think you're getting this answer to the next episode. That's a
Oh,
or maybe I'll tell you away from here, but that's a really good question because I would like to say that I just roll. I'm going too far extremes. I either roll with it or I tried to stay in control in the moment and just didn't want to have the transition. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
Like,
oh,
no, this
the
can't.
stubbornness.
Yeah, like, and I stay comforting in that. Like, okay, I'm trying to think of a particular scenario without talking too much where I was just so against something and it wasn't for anything other than me being uncomfortable. So it's like I don't want this transition to happen. Uh
What about the way you did music? Do you feel like
that
that?
that will no that will that comes with transition. I was just talking
Oh,
just I was just talking I'm gonna go sidebar here, but I want
you
to
want to get that shout
say
out? He fiending.
nah, no, it don't have nothing to do with the shout out. Well, yeah, it is a shout out.
I
Shouts out
know.
to it's a two in one. Shouts out to if y'all interested in the music. Shouts out to actually, it's more than music now that I think about it. I have another podcast aside from this, and it's called The
He be
AM with Mike
cheating on me,
Lowry.
y'all. He be cheating on me.
But it's about the background and everything. So that's a whole nother story. But one of the episodes I did was with an artist I work with named Silas. And
Oh, yeah.
he's gonna be on this show. He wants to be on this show. I
Let's
didn't even
go.
tell you that yet.
Yeah,
But
he didn't.
he's been going through this healing process so much. And he was talking about, I was like, man, you need to get on the show with me and my brother. And he said he showed all the journals that he had, and he was like, man, bro, you need to get a journal. I was like, man, don't. I was like, my brother been telling me that forever. And I was like, I'm stubborn. Now dig this. When we talk about transitions, I've been trying to figure out, and I never even told you this. I've been trying to figure out since the first time you asked me to write a journal, why I refuse to write a journal. Right. And when he spoke to me yesterday and he was like, I got 15 albums and this is this album and this album, we're so much alike. I broke down on a podcast and I was like, dog, you about to make me cry. And it helped me understand. I'm about to tear up again. It helped me understand why I'm so stubborn to this journal, right?
Mhm.
And what it is it's the transit. It's just crazy. It's the transition. Transitions hurt sometimes. So what happened
Ooh.
was I used to have no before I started like doing everything in the studio. I used to write a lot, so I had notebooks full of. I had shoeboxes full of notebooks like you could just go through them and it would just be rap like all. It reminded me Silas. that moment reminded me of all of those shoeboxes I had. Now, I want this to be understood. I'm not disrespecting my wife or talking about her. When you get married and you move in with someone, something gotta go,
Mhm.
right? It's too much of she had to throw away stuff. Some of the stuff that I threw away was my double XL magazines, my source magazines, and I collected so many of those things. And my shoebox is full of my lyrics.
Damn.
And with me being the type of person that I am, that was a transition that I had to deal with, but I never wanted to resurface it again. So when you asked me to write in journals, I didn't know this at the moment, but that's what it makes me think. I got to do all of this catching up to all of these notebooks that I had that I threw away. And when I tell you, it was more than one shoebox. I was finding them, where you pick your spare tire up at, like some of them had slipped in the air.
Yeah, I
So
do know
like I,
what you mean.
I I had a lot of them. So to let it go, I thought I let it go, and you brought it back up, and I'm like, how long is this gonna take me to catch up to that? You know what I mean?
Damn. So did
And
you really let it go or did you just disconnect from it?
that's another good question. Did I let it go? I disconnected, and then that was another thing we talked about because I thought that I didn't need therapy because music was my therapy. But I was to your point, I was disconnected. I was just like, I'm not gonna worry about these issues
You know what
because
that's
this is
almost
how.
my
Go
bad.
ahead.
No, okay. I was gonna say, bro, just think about how isolating that is. You know how, because I hear a lot of rappers say that too. Like, yeah, bro, the mic, my therapist. It's like, nigga, that's like going to jail and going to solitary confinement and being like, yeah, bro, this confined space is my booth. You ain't talking to nobody else. Think about it, you're getting the reactions of people who want to hear the music that you're producing, which isn't a negative. It is an outlet. It's a way to vent. But to say it's your therapy is almost like, what in response are you getting? You're
Good point. So good point to that, and I think that needs to be said loud because I think that's
oh
the context that's not said. Because what we hear, especially back in those days, venting. You heard venting. Think about that. You didn't hear about a person saying you could vent to me more so than you could say you could vent to a therapist. So that's how we used to compare it. Like you
mm.
said, you
It
could
was
vent around a therapist.
associated with it.
Yeah, I'm not getting a judged response in return, all of that. So I can get it all out.
Nerd moment. So for people who are watching, whoever happens to watch this, in psychology, that's called a schema. When we associate something to something else already because of background knowledge, it's almost like those unconscious bias that we talk about. So like how before therapy was seen as something healthy, it was seen as only crazy people go to it. That was the
Mm-hmm.
schema of it. So you just saying that it was a really great connection because it's like you're right. At that time, therapy was seen as a place you go to get your shit off because nobody around you cared. That was
Yep.
like I'm at like three.
Yeah, 4 or 5, because you dropped the N word too.
I feel
But
like them
I
don't
mean,
count.
who's counting? You know what I'm saying? Who's counting? We knew this was gonna happen off rip anyway. So hey,
Man, back to your
that's
story. Back to
no that
Silas.
I'm not even gonna continue there. Y'all go and check that out. I'll post a link in here, but y'all go and check
Yeah,
that out.
shout out to
But
AM, man.
but the what were some transitions that happened with you from the last time we recorded this to now that you can think of? Because you got some pretty dope transitions going on in your life, brother.
Oh man. Well, it's some things that can't can't announce yet. You know what I'm saying? That's on the wraps. But me and my brother been making music together on a fun tip. That's been a
We
transition.
been making music, or you've been making music?
Shit, look, I'm always about credit. I can't make a music without a beat. You know what I'm saying? I
Did you
can't.
just say? Did you just say shoot, or
I
was
said,
that
I said, I
another?
said, I said, I said, I said, shoot,
Oh, okay.
like shoe. You know
We're
what I'm
gonna
saying?
do an instant replay. We're gonna bring that back.
Ooh, this is recorded. Hey, that's
Hey,
what.
recorded for quality assurance.
Can't make no mistakes, boy. And you know what's funny? Coaches used to be on head about that in practice. They'd be like, so you, because it'll be Monday, or no, it'll be after the game on Sunday and something happened, and he'll ask the player, he'll be like, yo, so what happened on that touchdown? Did you go through that gap? Nope, it wasn't me. I ain't go through that gap. Okay.
brother.
He be on Monday. So remember you told me on the sideline that you didn't go through that gap? What is this that you showed?
Receipts. That's what we call them. Receipts.
Hey, the best answer is no answer. You know what, coach? I got to watch film and see what
There
see
you
what happened.
go. Because you ain't deny it. There you go.
Man, but going to what you said, bro, for me, some more transitions, making music, which reminded me of what you said. I didn't have notebooks or shoe boxes. I had like maybe 3 or 4 notebooks of me like doing poetry, writing rhymes, and things like that. Fun fact, I remember I got in trouble. I think I got like super trouble for something, bro. I can't remember what it was, bro, but it was something. And I remember writing my parents a poem apology, and it worked. I was in the back of my head, like, oh yeah, I know what to do now. I tried it the next time. Them niggas like, no, no,
That
no.
was
Hey,
grace.
hey, hey,
That
they
was
hit me with the
grace.
Dikembe. They good cetera. I'm glad you're creative, but go ahead, get out of here.
Oh, hold on, your
Got a
nephew is in
guess?
here. Yes, sir. You said that. Grayson, you came in the door. I did you think I called you? No, I didn't. I'm on a podcast right now with Uncle Ju. You want to say hi to Uncle Ju?
And he said, "Hey, what up, G man?"
He said, "What up, G man? This ain't time for you to shine. The light is on me,
He
nephew."
looked good too. Yeah, you look good.
Uncle said you look good. Don't be trying to look at your lining.
Oh, he's crispy. He said, "Oh, you see, he just like his dad.
Uh,
He just like his dad, yo."
you so white. What you talking about?
No, we want to get inside the crib. My hair's like so white.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
mine
it's
too.
white up here.
See you later, sir.
I'm acting like he can hear me. You the only person that can hear me. Y'all see how he ignoring me? I'm talking to y'all at this point.
He be saying words that rhyme. I heard what you said. Yeah, he definitely don't hear you.
I know.
We got this thing. It's crazy how he catches on to things and he does them at weird times. Like I'll do this fake laugh with him. Like when we start laughing. So he was just laughing on the floor, and I'm in here just before we started, and he's doing that, but he knows it's gonna get my attention. I'm like, that ain't your laugh, man. That's my laugh. So he'll start laughing. It reminds me of stuff Dad be doing, where it's like I lined you up, and I know I did it, and you like it,
and you like it.
And then like he says word. Oh, it stopped snowing. He says words that rhyme. So I'll be like later, and he'd be like, Bader. Or, he'll just start saying stuff.
And then now y'all going with it.
Yeah, until somebody give in. So
oh, that's dope, man.
I can't shout him out.
I mean, he came in. Like, I feel like that's a shout out in itself. You tried to do it on the slide. But hey, what you told me earlier, who's counting?
Go ahead, finish the story. Hey.
Oh man. Transition. So rap, having fun making music, man. Cause I remember this how long I've been making music with my brother. I remember he sent me a beat a long time ago, and I ain't had no headphones. I ain't had no band lab. I had my phone and a speaker, and I was recording it like the speaker here, my phone here, and I sent it to my brother. He like, yeah, we gonna need to get you a mic. I'm like, man, I ain't finna invest in this. I'm just trying to have fun. And he like, well, you can get YouTube beats, and I'm like, that makes sense because you were putting effort behind that. And then now to think, then I had Band Lab, and then you gave me Fruity Loops like on my computer. That was when I was a junior, bro, at that time. And then senior year was when I started using, this is 2020 before COVID. Dang, bro, I think I still got the song like on my phone where I had played it. My city, because then we recorded it at Pop's crib. And I'm like, bro, it's too much effort that go into this, bro. I can't just get on here and talk. You was like, nah, bro, you gotta find your rap voice.
Parents' crib.
We was at What'd I say?
Pop's crib. Hey man, mom's gonna see this at some point in her life.
She won't.
Hey, that don't make me feel comfortable. This dude. So hey, maybe one of her friends might catch it.
This guy.
But my question to you with that, first, let me give you a credit. Let me give you a shout out now. The dope thing about that is you actually did put forth more effort than I gave you credit for, because this leads to my second thing. What made you have your phone and use the speaker? Like, what made you do that? That sounded like some me stuff when I was 7. Because most people would be like, I can't do it. You figured it out.
Because I had to, because I couldn't record and hear the beat at the same time. And I didn't want to just record and then try to add the beat on, because I did try that and it sounded stupid. I was like, oh yeah,
Okay.
this
We're
is dumb.
we're gonna talk about that on the AM, because now my brother sounds technical and the average listener is not gonna understand that. I get it, but here's my
Dang, and I would have never guessed that.
yeah, it's crazy. You should, when you go back and look at this, you literally ain't even looking at the camera no more. You just off in the zone, just talking. Like, I'm like, hey,
Hey, I'm like, you know
hello,
what?
lights on.
It's crazy you say that, James, because I didn't think that was technical until you just brought it up. It's almost like how you said we don't give each other, we don't give ourselves credit. So it was like, I was like, bro, I can't hear myself, but I need to hear myself. I'm not investing. So let me play the beat through my laptop, connect my laptop to the speaker, and then that way I can record on my phone. So then you can still hear it, but the beat isn't overpowering my voice. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what made me think to do that, because it was like, I think, bro, you know what? It was summer of 2019 going into 2020, because I remember, bro, I vividly remember where I was at. I was on this couch in the corner recording because it was hot in a mug, bro. And I was just like, bro, I ain't got nothing else to do. I was just hitting the pen and just getting active off that bad boy. So then that's kind of how it happened, man. And I feel like you gave me the idea of, you know what? This can go on the AM, because I remember that was when you started talking to me about how things sound different in different places. Like things sound different when you have one headphone on, two headphones on, when you're listening through your laptop, when you're listening through your phone, when you're listening through a car speaker, when you're listening through a speaker. And you have to, as the engineer, you got to try to make it not sound perfect, but as close to possible in each different element. And then that, like, just being able to remember that is crazy, that we even talking about this now because of transitions. Y'all, I never thought like this. Like,
That's crazy.
I tell my brother all the time, like, man, all praises to the Most High Yahweh that one, we was even able to get close like this, because like I was very strategical in how I thought, but I was also very impulsive. So there wouldn't be this wouldn't happen, or what if this goes wrong? Because if it goes wrong, I'm gonna just get myself out of it to begin with. And then like that's what it's gonna be. Either I'm gonna talk my way out of it or I'm gonna cry my way out of it, because I don't got pride. And that was something
Victim.
victim, big victim. I could play the victim role real quick because I knew how to appeal to emotions, because nobody was listening to me anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, okay, I just gotta tap in. So then, yeah, bro, that kind of led me to that. So now I want to ask you, what transitions have you been going through recently, and how have they been impacting your life?
I got a lot, but you left something on the table, and I can't allow you to do that. So we get to me after we get to your trip back home and what you did. I thought you were
Ah.
saying.
Hey man, this might have to be a two-part series, man. So my question for you is, James, what is a transition that you're going through now, and how do you feel like that's impacted? You know what? I'm sorry, brother. We ain't got that much time. Let's do this next week. Let's end on this little cliffhanger, do our people right, and we're gonna talk about transitions part 2 next week. I'm sorry to do that, my HOTC people. My fault, big
So
brother.
you just did a transition in the middle of a transition on the show that's called Transition.
Because this is what I do, man. I told you this. I'm a P. Y'all see it? Peace
Man
out.
tripping. If I ain't had this right here, you can see my land sitting. Oh, understand what it's giving.
I
I'm
ain't
the
got nothing.
man,
I
not
ain't got.
kidding.
I ain't got.
I'm thinking in my head, I'm the man, I'm not kidding.
I ain't got nothing
Got
for.
my hand up.
What you
Just
got?
listen. Just
Oh,
listen. All right, I'm done now. You about to geek me up and I'm gonna start laughing and mess myself up.
I'm waiting for you to hop in the band lab booth with me, because I got Mike now. No.
Crazy.
Yeah.
HOTC peeps. Appreciate y'all. Subscribe, like, share, tag, all of that. All right. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.